The following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general viewer.
Good evening, our viewer. Welcome to Youth Nation Talk Show. This is where we come and delve into complexities of situations and issues that are affecting the young people in our generation, and we get to understand and even know more and find solution into how are we going to help the young people. Welcome so much into this today's session, and thank you for keeping it Prayer Cave TV and making it your favorite TV station. I know you get blessed with our various programs. They bless you, and I know there is growth even in your spiritual life, and we bless God for that. And today we are going to talk matters dysfunctional family. So get ready for this candid conversation with expert solution that we are going to get to from our guest tonight. And without further ado, karibu sana.
Thank you.
Kindly just introduce yourself to our viewer tonight.
All right. Good evening, viewers, and you're welcome to the show. And thank you for having me today. My name is Purity Kelvin, and I'm happy to be here with you. And I know we are going to have a great time. I am a mother, I am a wife, I'm also a singer and a counselor. That's why I'm here.
Great.
And I know that you're going to have a great time. So welcome.
Wow, you've heard she has very many hearts, and today we are going to use the heart of a counselor and maybe a mother and many more. So karibu sana.
Thank you.
Today we want to just have a conversation about dysfunctional families. We are living in a generation where families are breaking day in, day out, and leaving our children, in a position where they are not sure of now what is happening into their lives. Others have gone through and grown through that kind of family, and you get to see the way they do life, the kind of the decisions they make, their behavior can be affected by their background. And so maybe to start with, we can just talk about what exactly is dysfunctional family.
Yeah, a dysfunctional family comes from the word dysfunctional, meaning it is not functioning as it should be.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use very simple terms that everyone will be able to understand.
Thank you.
There is no perfect family, so to say,
Sure.
as there are no perfect people, because a family is made up of a father, mother. They come together and they bring forth children.
True.
So the father and the mother, they are two imperfect people, and when they come together, of course they will have a family, so to say, not very perfect.
Yes.
But at least there is the boundaries that a functioning family should function within.
Yeah.
So you find that when a family is dysfunctional, children especially, or the members of that family, they live in fears. They are not able to really express themselves as they should. So a dysfunctional family has issues with communication, and it also has issues with trust.
Yeah.
It has there are broken boundaries within them, and we can say that there are symptoms that can describe, because maybe you, as you're listening to us, you're wondering, how can I tell that my family is dysfunctional?
Yes.
So you find that a family that is dysfunctional, it operates with emotional manipulations, whereby you have to really, if it is a child, they really have to work very hard in school for them to become appreciated by the family members or by the parents. So you find there is a lot of manipulation. You cannot be yourself.
Yes,
you are at home, but you feel like a stranger. Or I really have to really work so hard for me to be appreciated.
Yeah.
You've ever found parents that they'll never appreciate a child, even when they really perform. There are fathers that are called trophy fathers. They only celebrate you when you come with A's. You are number one. Thank God for the current
CBC.
Kind of CBC.
The grading.
The grading is a bit fair.
Yeah.
and friendly for the children. So hakuna ile like our times.
True.
Tulikuwa tunaparediwa number 1 mpaka wa mwisho. And it was really not nice. You can imagine the one who is starting from the other side. The shame and their esteem was really affected. Another one is addiction, where you find that maybe the parents, they are addicted maybe to alcohol or drugs, or maybe other things. Even even work can be an addiction. So where there are addictions, it is a sign that that family is dysfunctional. Why? When people are addicted or someone is using drugs or there is an alcoholism, it can be the father or the mother, especially nowadays. So you find that person is not able to operate in their normal senses, so to say. So you find that when the father comes, they can use words without control. Which leads to now conflicts. A family, to the third one, whereby you find that there are so many conflicts. People are yelling at each other, people are shouting at each other, abusive words are being used. And so when you combine the two, when there is addiction, someone gets out of their normal world, and now they can be able to do things. Naona wale wanamkanga wanasema, na nilisema nini? Wanasema sio vivi ati nikasema nini, and they start denying. Yet whatever they did cannot be undone. The children saw that. And now this one comes with a lot of emotional damage to the children, and they no longer know how should a parent behave. And they look to parents as their role model. I remember when we were growing up, and we would find these drunkards on the road. So they would do everything on the road. They use very abusive, obscene words. And you were like, this is someone's father. And I grew up hating that thing. And up to date, alcoholism to me, because I could see all that, and then you are like, this cannot be a role model to me. This one cannot be a role model to other boys. And nowadays it has gone even to the other extent. I know people have excuses. They are saying, oh, I'm trying to curb stress and depression. That's why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving. So a family that has addiction issues is also a dysfunctional family. The other one is where people have, there is something we call personality disorder, whereby you find that nowadays you hear of narcissists. So unakuta huyo mtu, they just work for their own advantage. You use other people, you manipulate them towards yourself, and they become very manipulative. So where you have a narcissist for a father, or even for a mother, or even, I can use those two because now children are subject to them. So you find that family is dysfunctional. Of course, and there are those characteristics for you to know that this person is a narcissist. Maybe because you're not talking about it, but someone can check out and see those people are very manipulative. Parents who will abuse you emotionally, and then tomorrow they do something, you feel like it has not the pain, and then tomorrow, and they keep on, such behaviors. And also borderline parents you can never know. Sometimes ako happy, the other time ako the other side very low. So as a child, you are there, you are like, who is my parent? Is it the one who is usually very happy, or it is a personality disorder? And all of them, they can be treated in one way or another. As you see, the counselors or psychologists, toxic parenting. There are those parents who are very toxic. Very toxic. Yani, discipline, kama na kudiscipline, my friend, it is toxic. You've ever seen a woman and a biting mtoto?
I've heard of that.
Yes, and those extremes. So when you fight such, because already the parent has issues with herself. So, and as it direct to the child. So when you see such signs, it's also a sign of a dysfunctional family. Yeah, so those are some of them,
Right.
but there are many others that we can be able to talk about. So far, unless there is a question.
Yeah, thank you for telling us the signs of someone who is in a dysfunctional family.
Yes.
Sometimes we might think we are not, but
Yes.
now that you have pointed out some points, I know someone is watching us and they're thinking also this could be a sign. Now tell us, what is the impact of this kind of issues to a young person that has been brought up in that kind of dysfunctional family?
Yeah, of course, it will have impacts to the young people, because now we are talking of the child from the time they are born to the time before they leave home. So that is a child, and then we go to adolescent and the teenagers before now they can start building their own lives. So it really has effect on them, because you can imagine a family where you can never speak out. So emotionally, this child can have depression, anxieties, fears, then can grow with personality issues, whereby maybe if you have a personality, a talkative personality, you're always told shut up, keep quiet, don't. So you can find that the effects, number one, emotionally, it can cause anxiety, whereby you're going home very anxious. You don't know, leo daddy atakuja akikuwa aje. Is he coming to fight? What will happen? And which can affect the child academically, you see? Because when you are so anxious, you can get affected. So mentally, there is depression. We can name so many of them. But let me start with emotions. Yes. You know, emotions are to be expressed. I'm supposed to express myself. If I'm sad, I come and say I'm very sad. Imagine a child who is being bullied in school, and when they come, they are not able to talk to their mom or their dad and tell them, today in school, this and this happened to me. So what will happen? They lock those emotions within them. They don't know who to talk to. And you find that that child will either be so withdrawn, ama anakuja tu anakaa. And so it will have effects to them, because emotions are supposed to be expressed. So at some point, even when they get to high school, when they get that chance, those are the kids now who can become very destructive. And you find that all the wanapanga migomo and all those kind of things, because they are looking for a way to express, ama kutoa hiyo bitterness, that anger, that they have bottled the resentment and all those kind of emotions within. They look for other ways which are not very good. Now they go on the negative side. Wanachoma shule, they start bullying others. Unasikia alifanya kitu. The other way, they can express it through addictions. Now that I cannot express myself, let me fight for somewhere else, or I take, when I'm high, now I can be able to shout anything and then I will not be blamed, you see? So it goes to the other way. Yani, if you are not able to express yourself emotionally, you look for a destructive way, a channel to channel it out. Ni kama maji ikijaa kwa dam. You remember the dam that ilijaa and then it looks for a way out. So we cannot bottle it forever. We look for a way. And some of the ways are very destructive. So as a parents, we should allow the children, as young as they are, imagine up from 1 year all the way, they should be able to express. They should find a person they can come and tell them, I feel sad today. Why? This and this happened. I am feeling like this. Or somebody did this to me. Imagine a child going through abuse. And nowadays, kuna hata abuse within the house. It can come from relatives. It can come from the house managers. And maybe something is happening to them. Emotional abuse. Unashautiwa, unapewa majina. And now they don't have a safe haven where they can run and say, so and so called me. Like now I have my son. He's 9 years and a girl who is 7. As young as they are, I give them a chance every evening. Now Lisa, how was school today? What happened? And then anakuja nakwambia, so and so aliniita. You see, those are small things. But to them, anakuexpressia mpaka analia. Alisema ni mimi nilifanya and I'm not the one. Namwambia, so tomorrow go tell teacher, do this, do that. So they feel, if anything happens to me, my mom will listen to me. Or I have someone I can tell. Imagine if you don't give them that environment, what will happen? They'll bottle those emotions, and at some point they'll let them out in the wrong way. Ama unakuta mtoto tu unamkanya, they just become difficult children, is the way parents can express. So emotionally, that's how we can say it affects them. Psychologically or mentally, it's what we were talking about, depression. That is after anxiety imeka, ameingiwa na fear na vitu kama hizo, it can lead to depression. And even children, imagine they suffer depression. So children can suffer depression. Adolescents can suffer depression, teenagers, and now the adults.
So
everyone is prone to depression. And depression in children, you can be able to pick it up. We are not talking about depression, but I feel we should mention it. You can find that this child was always happy, active, but all of a sudden, change of behavior is a sign of depression. So you find that suddenly they are withdrawn, suddenly they are gadgets. You find a child is always on the gadgets. They are running away from something and they obstruct their mind. Even to the grown-ups, by the way. Most of us have become addicts of social media. Always TikTok, wapi, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, name them. So we are running away from something, reality. And by the way, we become so much connected. Then you are not even connecting with the Maureen like here. So you can become very addicted that the people who are around you are not in touch with them. But now you are in touch with people who are very far, who don't know you, who don't understand you. And that's why you see people out busting in the social media that I want to kill myself. And you're like, why write it here? Why can't you talk to someone around you? You see, so mentally it can cause those. It can also cause other mental disorders like bipolar, mood disorders. Unakuta mtu hawezi mjua kumwelewa. Unakuta mtu amekushautia today, tomorrow they are different. So mentally it can really be disturbing. All those mental disorders can come over. And I was to talk about esteem. When you come from such families, it affects your self-confidence and self-esteem. You no longer know who am I for real. You have issues with your body image, you have issues with your identity, you have so many issues. So it can affect the self-esteem of a person who has come, a child who has come from, or a youth who is coming from a dysfunctional family. So,
and mentioning that, I read somewhere that it can also affect you in the career that you take.
Very true.
Because you're not even yourself, you don't know exactly who you are not able to point out your strengths and your weaknesses.
Yeah, it is true, because now who are you expressing to? Because as parents, like now I can be able to pick the strength of these kids, and they are too different. Unakuta huyo ako na passion in this, but nobody cared. So you are done with schooling, and your parent tells you, enda ukafanye kitu fulani. They impose it into you. We say dysfunctional family, communication is an issue. So this person will not even be able to say, if it is a narcissist father, kind of, or very authoritative father, atamwambia, utafanya kile nimesema. This career you cannot do. I remember our times, maybe you could not say that I want to be a footballer. How? Or a singer. How? Get a career that is a career. Like a doctor, or in all those. So it can affect your choices of career, because if emotionally you are not stable, mentally you are not okay, it will really affect your decision making. Or the family itself, they will impose what you don't want because you are not able to express.
It is true. Maybe we can point out some of the behaviors and attitudes that these young people may attribute.
These young people, you find them, most of them, you see the ones we say, they have maladaptive kind of behaviors. So you will find a person is really being disciplined, even in school. You find they have issues with discipline. Huyu mtoto anajaribu kuambiwa do this, do that, but kwani hasikiangi. So we really need to get deep. Where is this behavior coming from? So we need to note the behaviors. So issues with discipline, sana do you notice, and then they are, of course, when it has grown to the extreme, near addictions. And when you're talking of addiction, it can be drugs, as we said. It can be gadgets or pornography and vitu kama hizo. It can be, when you talk of addiction, alcoholism and all those things. So you can be able to point out addiction. You can be able to point out depression or ikiwa mild, because zikienda extreme sasa inakuwa too much. You can also realize academics. Unaona, this person was a performer, but right now there is a drop in their academics. You find maybe if you are a Christian, you used to go to church together, but now anasema hata sitaki hiyo mambo ya church. Even dress codes. Unakuta tu they have just decided I want this kind of a dress code. Unapata tu mtoto ameanza tu kukua. Those are some of the signs you will realize in a child. They can also be very fearful. They are not able to express themselves. Unapata huyo mtu anatakanga tu company yake. They fear trust issues. They cannot trust anyone. They are not able to express themselves. So unakuta tu unatakanga nini. They are just there. Those are some of the effects of behaviors you can see.
It is true. Just as you've mentioned, I think there's these kids who really behave at home. They are really good. But when they come outside there, they do things and mzazi akiambiwa anasema, yes, mine cannot do that. Is this a problem?
A kid home, kuna ile kitu anataka ku-express as they are. So it's like they have two-sided kind of nilia. It is because they know when I'm at home, someone is watching me or I'm being, they want me to, there is a person they want me to be. You see, like the way we were saying, the perfectionists. Like a family that they want perfect children. And you know, there are no perfect people. So this person, because you are insisting, I have to be perfect. I have to dress like this. You have ever seen those kids? Ama unapata home, amevaa kanguo ni karefu mpaka huko, they are dressed decently. But ukikutana naye huko nje, like now in universities and all that, kamefika mahali, and you're like, this is not the same person as this. So it means you never explained to them why they should do this, like dress well. Why should I dress? You impose that thing into them. Why should I go to church? Sit down. In a functional family, they sit down and they talk things out. Let the child ask all the questions they want to ask. Be there to answer. Because when you are available and you are able to explain to me, why am I dressing like this? Why should I perform well in school? Why should I go to church? When you explain to me, now it will stick to my mind and I'll know I am doing this because of this. But those wanasemanga, I'm doing this for my father. I am doing this because my father said, ati siwezi enda home na trouser. I have ever had those comments because my dad hataki them. Why can't you go and engage with them and tell them this is the reason? So I think platforms should be there from home to church or any other place to be able to explain to them, why am I doing what I am doing?
That is great. Maybe we can look what kind of support can we give this kind of youths now that in the family imekuwa hard, so they are coming out in the society expecting that the society will appreciate and accept for them as they are. But when you come to the society, wanasemanga asiyefunzwa na mama yake atafunzwa na ulimwengu. How do we support this kind of kids?
This is one of the ways that we can be able to assist these children, having programs. Like now they are coming for holidays. I have seen whereby even other non-governmental institutions like NGOs, they have given out counselors in some of the slums, places zikonini vulnerable to some of these behaviors. They give counselors or therapists, and they are able to talk. You know, having a talk. And then churches as well, they have come up from children. Unakuta they have children kind of programs where children come, they are taught. And the word, of course there has to be word, and then live skills,
Yes.
like how to cook and all that, you know, kids of a certain age. And there are also those who do for the teenagers or those who are in high schools, all the way now to wanagawanyishwa according to their ages. And they are able to be reached according to their needs, because the need of a 0 to 5 year old is not the same need as a teenager. So they are subdivided into different groups, and now they are able to be reached out according to their needs. So when churches do that, I feel it is one of the greatest ways we are able to support them. That yet, if my parents are so busy, there are even those parents who are not within the country. So you don't have someone who can talk to you, or even you can ask some of the questions of life. So when churches organize such things, we are able to come in as counselors or therapists or whichever side of expertise we are, and we're able to talk to them and listen to them. You know, they need to be listened to and answer the questions that they could be having, things that are bothering them. So the schools, we have also engaged with schools whereby you find nowadays kuna counselors. So if you have issues at home, you can be able to reach to a counselor. By then, most of the schools have counselors nowadays. So we can make good use of them by going to express ourselves. Because if you never speak it out, it will come as an issue baadaye. So have someone you can talk to. So schools, universities, they have those departments and forums, and churches are doing very well when it comes to those forums. The government as well, as I told you, they have been able to reach out because there were issues with child abuse na story kama hizo. Unakuta hata tutoto twingine kamechomwa, you know, mwingine anachapwa kichapo ile mpaka kukatakatwa, you see. So when such kids see a therapist, they're able to be even rescued, because you have to take them to a safe place.
Wow. We are going to take a very short break. And we are coming to dig more and to dive more into that, even as we get to understand exactly and how do we help these people, because they are part of us, and we know a healthy society starts from a healthy you. So don't move so far. Keep it to Break TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back, our viewer. Thank you so much for always tuning in to Prayer Cave TV, and thank you for once again joining us in your favorite spot, the Youth Nation. And as we started today, I said we can get a very candid conversation about how do we handle things to do with dysfunctional families. Where did we go wrong? How can we correct these problems? And because it affects the young people, how they behave, the kind of the decisions they make, even the career path that they take. And now we want to continue with our conversation tonight with our guests. And now we are going, because we have not exhausted the kind of support that is available, maybe we can just continue with how can we support these young people who are from dysfunctional families.
I would like to say that change is individual, and as a youth, you may not be able to change your family or your parents, but you need to come to a place of self-awareness whereby you realize, I have come from a dysfunctional family, and maybe from the things we've shared above, where you see that maybe you are coming from even single mother or father, it is dysfunctional in a way that you don't have one parent, and you may be feeling like you're insufficient in a way. So when you see all those signs, maybe your parents are very authoritative, they are into addiction, or you find that they are perfectionists, they want perfect behavior, perfect performance in school. You also realize that maybe there is abusive kind of relationship between parent and child, as we have shared above. Once you have realized, it is a personal decision you make, and say, I think I would not want my family to be like this. And so you take the initiative as a youth and decide to join some of these programs, because you know that if we come and tell you, impose it into you, it may not do you much. Ni kama nikuchukue nikupeleke shule but hautaki kusoma. So you decide that I'm going to join this youth group or this program of the youths, because I know some churches even have, after Form 4, they have a program whereby the youths, they are taken through the Bible and behavior, and they are given support, and they are able to come out into the society strongly. So join those programs, identify mentors from the areas that you admire, and I believe us as the adults, we can be able to give support by mentoring them. There are so many mentorship programs as well, offered even by companies, whereby they decide to give career mentorship and life mentorship, coaching, and that one can be of help to our youth. Also, seeing a counselor, joining a therapy sessions whereby you can have family therapy, just in case your parents may realize they also need data. It starts even from children. There are children therapists whereby they realize this child is having an issue coming from this family. So if they are able to do that, I believe we can be able to bring up youths who are strong, even though they are coming from a dysfunctional family. Because if we continue like that, our parents may have come from a dysfunctional family, and that's why they are raising a dysfunctional family currently. So it will pass on to the next generation. If your parents were yelling at you, now you will do the same because you don't know anything better. But if we get mentorship, if we get this into these programs that are training us on how to behave, behavior issues, of course there are so many therapies that in counseling they are given. If it is issue with the mind, cognitive therapy, as we were talking about, emotional intelligence. You know, there are also people who don't know how to manage their emotions. They are everywhere. So you find that you're always quarreling with people. Get into peers, peer groups that are helpful. Of course, peers can also mislead you, but get into a group that is helpful. Like a youth group in church, it can be of great help. So identify someone you can talk to in the society. There are teachers who are very good. Identify one, talk to them. Get a pastor in your own church, talk to them. There are so even youth pastors, they will be of help. So I believe those are some of the ways. You can also reach out to us through the numbers that maybe they'll be given, and we can be of help, even to refer you to some of these groups.
Great. Do you think as a society we have created or have put infrastructure that can support this kind of people?
As a society, we are trying, but we still have a long way to go. And I thank God for such a program because it is creating awareness to someone, and they realize, oh, I have been behaving like this because of where I'm coming from. So how can I make a change from where I am? So such a program is very good. We are doing some efforts, and also people wamekuja kurealize, nasikia watu wakisema emotional damage. So they have realized, oh, I can be damaged emotionally. So people are being given a platform to express themselves. So when we are doing that, we still have a long way to go. But I believe we have come from somewhere. At least nowadays, parents are giving children need of expression. I see my kids asking me questions that I could not ask their parents. Nakuuliza, unaenda wapi? Kwa nini? Kwa nini tunaenda huku? Why are we doing this? Why is our teacher told us this? So they are able to really express themselves. But I know there are also families, they are not able to do that. So we have made an effort, but we need to continue psycho-educating people about it. Naona tuko na kazi as counselors, you have to go a long way, but the society is really helping because as I told you, they have also deployed the counselors all over places that are vulnerable, and people there, they are able to come to see them at zero cost, and the government is paying the counselors. So I believe we have taken a step, but there is still more that can be done.
Do you think we have successful programs that come in to help them people?
They are there. mentorship programs that are there. If we check very well, we will see them. And I seem like I'm repeating myself. Churches are at the forefront doing that because they have seen the gap. The government as well. There are successful programs where you see, there is one in Word of Faith.
The VUCA program.
The VUCA program. It is one of the programs I know, and I have seen wakivuka from high school as they are joining the other side. Now wakikuja, they go out strong. Their confidence is built. They get to know who they really are. They get to know their rights. They get to know their responsibilities, how to be a responsible citizen out of their parents' home, because now they will be away. So I know there is that VUCA program. That one I can testify. I have seen young people coming and they go out. They are able to choose the right careers, as we are saying. They are able to position themselves. They are able to express themselves, because in there, they are cancelled. In there, they are able to rectify behaviors. Unapata mtu alikuwa na some two character, but when they come, inakuwa sharpened, and they become better people in the society.
What is the role of the mental health professionals when it comes to helping the young people who are coming from dysfunctional families? You know, currently people say therapy is expensive, and so they don't have, they don't even get to choose. That is not an option for them to seek therapy, because it is known therapy is expensive. And you people, now that you are in that profession, how do you come in to help these kind of people?
We come in through talk shows. You see now, like this show, whereby you really don't have to pay anything to get this knowledge, you know. Yes, this is one of the platforms. So TV shows and programs, they are really of a great platform. It is created to be able to reach out to them at no cost. There are also books written by counselors, which are not really expensive. Also through the internet, the awareness is being created, whereby you don't have to pay any bundles too. So if you are seeking knowledge about mental health, you'll be able to get it. Government facilities, they have also come up with cheaper services. You can be able to access them. So I believe in that way, hatuko expensive, and also we've tried to come down. The charges are not very high. And I believe if you approach a counselor and you tell them, ni pesa tu hakuna, they cannot turn you off. And most of our pastors have also done counseling. And if you are in a church setup, you can be able to approach any one of them, and you are referred to a counselor who are in the church-based. They can be able to give you counseling services, and they'll be of help to you.
Great. Now tell us, how can family and loved ones, already this is person who has gone through, they have been brought up in this kind of family from childhood, they are going into their teenage, they are now young adults who are even seeking to marry, but you know, they have these trust issues, as we have mentioned. They are not able to connect well with other people. So how can the loved ones and us as the society help these kind of people?
We can come in by setting a good example, especially for those who are in marriage. I believe we can set up a good example to them, role models. How can we be good role models? Even if we came from those families and now we realize there are some things that happened to me, or I did some mistakes because I came from such kind of a family. But how long shall we keep on blaming, you know, pointing fingers back to our parents? They did not know better. So it is upon me to work on myself, to work on my characters, to work on my behavior. I realize that in this and this area, I need to rectify. For the sake of those who are coming behind us, we can become good role models, and also educating them. Offering counseling and mentorship to them. Like you find there is premarital counseling, whereby people are taken through a program before marriage, and they are able to be taught issues to do with communications, trust issues, finances, sexuality, and so many other things. And they are able to become better partners in marriage who will also become better parents. So I believe as a society we have a big role to raise up a generation that even if they came from a dysfunctional family, they can be able to raise families that are healthy families where children can be children, they can communicate well, we can relate with them well, and we can love them.
True.
Because some of us we were not given love, attention. Some of us we were never told I love you. So by the time when you grow in your 20s, someone comes and tells you I love you, you fall for them, you know, even before you are prepared for even marriage, and you get early pregnancies and all that, because you are looking for that attention, you are looking for that love, which was never offered at home. You found someone who can listen to you. You were never listened to, so you easily give in. We can, as a society, we can give those things. If a youth comes to you, or you notice this person is lacking in this area, or they're coming from a certain family, you come in. You don't have to be sent. You don't have to wait. You can approach them and befriend them, talk to them. We can also offer these services in holidays. Like now we are entering into a holiday as a society. Hata mtu kama umefika age fulani, now you feel the msukumo from inside that I can be able to reach out to a certain group. In a church, talk to the church. Tell them one afternoon we are having a program, and we give this knowledge to them. Like us, even our challengers as counselors, this holiday we can go out and decide to call this age group. Now unasema age from what to what, we meet this afternoon and we have these talks. They will ask questions, they will have time to express themselves without fear, and we'll be able to pick up some of these issues and work together with them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really great. Now that you have mentioned that, I'm looking at someone who is not able now to wanaogopa ile the fear of being judged. Hakuna mtu huwa anapenda kuwa judged. And so we put on this kind of clown,
masks.
A mask. We are not ourselves, but deep inside this person is really struggling. They really have issues with themselves. They don't even know who they are, but there's this kind of image that they need to show to the society. And of course the society will take you for what you're showing us, but not for exactly who you are. Maybe you can just advise that someone who's watching us tonight.
Yeah, the masks, you can put on a mask for some time, but it has a limitation, and you will live as a prisoner of yourself, because there is what I want the society to see, but there is what I really am. I'll give an example of a wound. I have a wound, maybe on my leg or on my hand. And what I do, I cover it with a bandage. What will happen? It keeps on worsening and worsening because I never went for treatment, and I also covered it. A wound heals when it is exposed. It gets clean and all that. So find solution for that thing you feel you don't want people to know. Counselors have a responsibility of keeping secrets or being confidential. So if you feel there is something inside you, you've never told anyone, it's eating you up, because it will affect you in the long run. You cannot hide it for long. If you are abused, for example, maybe you were raped when you were small, you never got to speak out, you never got to tell someone. Maybe you feel emotionally you were abused by your parents or someone. Find somewhere, go speak out, remove that mask, and you will get the help, and the wound inside will get healed. Because a wounded soul will never get healing until you speak out and let it. Because when you are wearing mask, it could be bitterness inside. Something happened, unforgiveness, and so many baggages that we carry. That at one point, my parent told me something. Wakasema I can never achieve anything. Someone told me this. And you never said it out. So anytime you're walking, it's like a burden. and you keep on uto towards tunakukujia tu nakwambia I'm not good enough, I was told I can never be anything in this life, somebody raped me and I'll never be able to express it to someone. Find someone, speak it out, and at the end of the day you are not the first one.
Absolutely.
Many people have suffered it. It may not be exactly, but you will find, oh, kumbe hata si kubwa. I'm not the first one. Na siko peke yangu. Just be careful who you are sharing to. Identify someone who you can tell someone, and then you are like, na akienda kusema.
I know.
But a counselor has a responsibility. You can even sue us if you share and I go out and it's like doctors. Azienda akisema nilitibu nani. You know, we have a big responsibility. Tunasemanga counselors, doctors and pastors. So many secrets za watu. So because our agenda is to help, not to destroy this person further. So please find someone you can talk to, and I pray to God that you will identify that one person. You'll be able to be real to them. And at the end of the day, you walk in this life in confidence, knowing that what you see is what you get.
It is true.
I am not two-sided.
I just remembered someone once told me they carried that baggage of being told they're not good enough. So for them failing, it never even felt anything bad. They had an excuse because they were told they're never good enough. So you fail and it's okay because I know I'm not good enough. You try another day, you fail, no, I'm not good enough. And I know it is really a burden. So my viewer, if you're there tonight, our counselor has told us, if you have an issue, speak it out. Get a safe space where you can open up yourself and make sure is what you see is what you get, right? That is beautiful. So, now I know there's a parent who now they are realizing they are toxic. They are realizing they are the ones who are causing this dysfunctional that is happening in the family. Maybe we can advise them. Our parents tonight, we got you.
All right. Are you a parent out there? And after we've talked and we've shared, you have realized you've never given your child a safe space to communicate, a good environment where children can be themselves. You've never even asked them, Yani, the absence of your father, how does it make you feel? Or when I'm drunk, or the behaviors, we should give them an environment to ask questions. But because we are insecure with what we are doing, unakuta that you don't feel like you want to talk to your parents. I remember the past generation whereby mtu anakuta, I don't know my father, and then you go to your mom, unamuuliza, Mom, babangu ni nani? Unaambiwa nikusikia ukiniuliza hiyo. And the response you are given. Ama mwingine aliambiwa aligongwa na lori. Na vitu mingi sana tu. Can we come out and speak to them? Because after they are grown, they will come to realize. Ama aende na hapo ambapo unajua babako ni nani. Then you'll be like, why did my mom lie to me or told me this and that? These children will grow. And if they come with questions, give them an environment where they can ask you anything. And to the extent that you can be able to answer, please do your best to answer them. Because if you don't give them the answers, they will find them elsewhere. So as parents, if you feel like you have failed, it's never too late to start it all over again. And give those children an environment. Tell them, come, we can talk. Ask me any question. Give them the answers to their level. And let them understand that you are there for them. I think the greatest gift you can give your child is attention and love, and to know that you have the best interest for them in your heart. When they know that, and they know that they are safe in your hands, I believe there is no human being who can fail someone who they know they love them. If I know you love me, I'll be able to come and approach you. I'll not be afraid that if I ask you, you will dismiss me or do that. So let's give them love, let's give them attention, let's give them a hearing ear, let's give them time. Our time is important. Someone said our kids want our presents, not our presents.
True.
Don't shower them with so many presents and you are never there. Please, even if you're busy, create an afternoon, create a weekend and tell them, ni mimi na nyinyi. We put away our phones, our laptops, and we have a conversation like the way we used to have them in the older days around the fire, and we talk. In the midst of talking, we'll be able to pick up issues that our kids are having. So let's be good parents, because we will not mentor them forever. Of course, parenthood does not end, but when they are still youths, let's give them the best so that they can become better parents.
True.
Yeah.
How about for a parent who is parenting an adult who is not at home, but they really want to make amends, you know, and try to show them, of course, they have made a mistake in the past, but now they can correct their parenting.
Yeah, I believe the best thing they can do is to also meet with them. Anything that is not communicated, I'll never understand.
Yeah, true.
So even right now, as an adult as I am, there are things my mom told me, and now I came to understand, oh, this happened because of this.
Yeah.
And now I'm able to amend myself from where I am and decide I will not pass this over to my children. If my parents were never there, like me, my parents were business. They're still alive. My mom, my dad, business people. So kuamka ni mapema na kurudi ni late. I'm asleep and I live when I'm still asleep. So that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
So later on, that is the best I knew how to do.
Sure.
So I realized, and you know, from that, I can either become too attached to my children or I do the same. So I decided to balance. I'll be there, but also
give them some space.
Some space as well. So if you realize you messed it up somewhere or you never gave your best, you can always see them, talk to them and have a conversation so that they may understand where they are coming from and so that they may not pass the same to their children.
Great. So how can we raise awareness about dysfunctional families?
The awareness we can do is through our social media. You know, we are in a generation where a lot is happening through the social media. A lot. So we can put it out there. Programs like this, don't stop. Keep doing it. There is one person who will see it. When we share the links, they will get help. We can keep writing it in our churches. We can do the same in schools. Whenever we have an opportunity, wherever we know that people will get to know about it. Even one-on-one, we can be able to go and talk to someone. When we realize in the neighborhood kuna hii, let's reach out. Let's be our brother's keeper.
Great.
Yeah.
Now we are coming to a close of today's session, and I believe you're having your notebook and your pen, because these are not notes that you let slide like that. Maybe you can just give us your closing remarks tonight.
This is what I can say, that change starts with me. If I realize that from where I'm coming from, things were not so good, and my parents they did what they could do, lakini some things happened to me because of them. I can only start from where I am. Regretting and blaming will not help me to become a better person. But if I'm aware that I'm coming from such a place, the best thing I can do is to seek information, to get educated, what I can do, and seek help where possible. So don't die with your issues. If you feel you're not okay emotionally and mentally because of whatever happened to you, please reach out for help, and there will be someone to listen to you. And above everything, God is there. He is listening. So if you feel like you have been so overwhelmed by issues from your family, you can cry out to God. He says He's always listening to you. So don't kill yourself. Don't take away your life. Don't die with that issue. Don't make a decision that will affect you and your generation. Please reach out.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. My viewer, even as we come to the end of tonight's show, I know you have learned a lot from the experts. They have given us tips and how we are going to navigate through this issue that we are talking tonight about dysfunctional families. And I'm so delighted. Thank you so much for creating time for us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I believe we have learned so much. And I know this is not a topic that we can exhaust. There's so much that we can learn from dysfunctional families and how we can help those people that have gone through this kind of issue. So I'm so delighted that you are able to stick with us until this end of today's session. Keep it Prayer Cave TV, and until next Saturday, see you then.